On the world news tonight from Bababagide Imo Television, first the headlines. Tinubu receives Benin Republic President in Aso Rock. Starting with Anambra, Tinubu approves blueprint for Southeast. FG raises exchange rate for cargo clearance to 951 naira to dollar. Presidency reacts as P&G leaves Nigeria after GSK's exit. Sanusi 6 NNPC audit says president should be and shouldn't be petroleum minister. On sports, Amunike is the indigenous coach picked as replacements. I am Morire Rebina Lawal, the news in detail. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday said cooperation is imperative for economic prosperity in West Africa, noting that a lack of synergy between Nigeria and the Benin Republic has been an encumbrance to mutual development. Speaking when he received President Patrice Talon of Benin Republic at the State House in Abuja, President Tinubu said Nigeria and Benin Republic share a lot in common, describing both countries as conjoined twins held together at the hip. A statement issued by the Special Advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Ajuri Ngelale, quoted Tinubu as saying, "We are one. No other nation like ours should be worried. What is affecting us is lack of synergy. We have not developed the necessary economic synergy that will develop our two nations. We must have common economic principles and priorities. The economic programs you are developing through inter-ministerial collaboration is welcomed by me." President Talon, who was at State House, will seek the support of President Tinubu on improving trade relations ahead of the Economic Community of West African States Summit, described the relationship between his country and Nigeria as crucial. He said Benin Republic is seeking stronger trade ties with Nigeria, emphasizing the free movement of people and goods between both countries. Benin has started implementing a national development plan which includes enhanced integration between Nigeria and Benin Republic. Our development plan includes taking into account what investments are required in Benin to enhance our integration with Nigeria in trade terms. It is true that many agreements have been signed to push our integration forward, but they have not been implemented. The ruling All Progressive Congress APC said President Bola Tinubu had approved a blueprint for the political emancipation of the Southeast geopolitical zone, starting with Anambra State. The national chairman of the APC, Abdullahi Ganduje, disclosed this when he granted audience to stakeholders of the party from Anambra State and several other stakeholders, including Governor Opuzodinma of Imo State, Senator Ifeanyi Uba, and others. Ganduje said President Tinubu has approved the blueprint for political emancipation of the Southeast, and we are starting with Anambra State. All you need to do is to speak with one voice for it to be louder, deeper, and to be heard all over. You need a platform for negotiations at the national level. For now, you have been known and you have to be united. The liberation has started and the liberal revolution is starting from Anambra State. Ganduje, while praising Ifeanyi Uba's decision to join the APC, emphasized the readiness of the party to win legislative seats in the zone. He, however, urged leaders of the party in the zone to be wary of their statements and only make statements that unite the people. Also speaking, Governor Uzodinma stressed the importance of the people of the zone joining the APC, saying there was an urgent need to integrate them into national politics. The Anambra State Chairman of the APC, Basel Ejidike, said we suggest that the federal government appoint license office in states without APC governors, just as was done during the National Party of Nigeria NPN era. This is to coordinate the proper disbursement of aids and grants accruing from the federal government to the states. The Central Bank of Nigeria announced an increase in the exchange rate for cargo clearance from 783 naira to $1 to 952 naira to $1. Information recalls that the rate was previously increased from 757 naira to $1 to 783 naira to $1 in November. A 3.4% rise was made to the exchange rate for cargo clearance, which went from 757 naira to 783 naira per dollar. On Thursday, though, correspondents saw the Nigeria Customs Service portal now shows the updated rate. The presidency has expressed sadness over the planned exit of American multinational consumer goods corporation Procter & Gamble (P&G) from the country. Information reported that the company announced on Wednesday that it is stopping manufacturing activities in Nigeria and would start to import. The company lamented that it is becoming increasingly difficult to do business in Nigeria due to issues with the dollar-naira exchange values and issues with the macroeconomic environment. Reacting in a post via his X handle on Thursday, the senior special assistant to President Bola Tinubu on media and publicity, Temitope Ajayi, said the news of the American firm leaving Nigeria is sad. Ajayi said despite the development, hundreds of high-impact local and multinational businesses are opening in Nigeria and operating in the same economy. He stated that the stories of major blue chips and other big businesses that are expanding their production lines to increase output hardly make headlines. The stories of major blue chips and big businesses that are expanding their product lines to increase output hardly make headlines. One foreign business decided to leave Nigeria. For whatever reasons, it will dominate mainstream media and social media as if the country is going into extinction. Former governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, Sanusi Lamido Sanusi, has called for a proper audit of the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPCL), noting that this call was what cost him his job at the Apex Bank. Sanusi made this known while delivering his remarks at the Bank Directors Summit holding at the Congress Hall of the Transcorp Hilton in Abuja. Sanusi, who was CBN governor from June 2009 to February 2014, insisted that the president should not be the Minister of Petroleum. For the ex-CBN chief, the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria and the Nigeria Deposit Insurance Corporation must remain until banks get together and pay up what they owe the system. He also maintained that the banking sector must show up its trust deficit in the eyes of the public and that there is no need to amend the CBN Act to keep the Apex Bank free from political influences. In August, about 3 months after his inauguration, President Bola Tinubu split the Ministry of Petroleum Resources with the appointment of Ekperikpe Ekpo as Minister of State Gas Resources and Eniking Lokobiri as Minister of State Petroleum Resources. However, Tinubu, in an apparent tradition of his predecessor, ex-President Muhammadu Buhari, kept the position of the substantive Minister of Petroleum Resources to himself. Cracks have emerged in the fold of opposition political parties as 7 of them formed a coalition named Concerned Political Parties against the ruling All Progressive Congress (APC). Their goal is to resist the APC's alleged plot to turn Nigeria into one-party state. The parties are People's Democratic Party (PDP) and the New Nigeria People's Party (NNPP), the Social Democratic Party (SDP), the African Democratic Congress (ADC), the Young Progressive Party (YPP), Allied People's Movement (APM), and the Zenith Labour Party (ZLP). After a meeting at the SDP National Secretariat, the party addressed journalists on the formation of the coalition. In his reaction to the development, the Labour Party said it is a third force in the Nigeria political circle. The LP said the 7 political parties that formed the coalition out of 16 are like minds, adding that it was not approached. The national chairman of SDP, Shehu Musa Gaban, who spoke to journalists after their meeting in Abuja, said the federal government's budget of theories can't solve Nigeria's economic problems. Protesters early Thursday stormed the National Assembly to denounce what they regard as a plot by land grabbers to blackmail the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory (FCT), Nyesom Wike, in his land administration reforms drive. Led by the Nigeria's Patriotic Forum, the protests came as a counter-reaction to a demonstration on Wednesday by the network of civil societies for economic sustainability against Wike that he was undermining the renewed hope of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The protesters carried placards with various inscriptions. Land grabbers are trying to blackmail Wike. Wike has been tested and trusted. Wike is God sent to Abuja. Wike is a destabilized Nigerian, among others. Speaking with journalists, the chairman of Nigeria's Patriotic Forum, Ali Hussaini, said it was normal for corrupt individuals and land grabbers to sacrifice everything they have acquired to frustrate Wike's laudable initiative in land administration. Sani, who passed a vote of confidence in the FCT minister, stated that the indigenous inhabitants of the nation's capital were behind him and will resist any attempts to tarnish his hard-earned reputation and transformation moves. Biafra agitator Simon Ekpa on Thursday morning made a weighty allegation against Vice President Kashim Shettima, describing him as a founder of Islamic terrorist group Boko Haram. Ekpa's far-fetched claim has garnered massive attention as at the time of filing this report, leaving many people agog. Noting that Shettima spoke about an endless war with Biafra, Ekpa said he is advising the VP to withdraw such a statement to avoid several consequences. In his word, Shettima, the Boko Haram founder, Shettima should be informed quickly that Nigeria will soon vanish from world history. The Biafran Prime Minister and Commander-in-Chief of Armed Forces, Simon Ekpa, has cultivated and has met with every international standard with high recognition to lead and reign to bring about an unchallengeable sovereignty. Simon has set parameters that are brought end to Nigeria. Shettima, if we engage you land to land, will crush you, and if we engage you air to air, we'll burst the bubble, and if we engage you sea to sea, we'll sink you. I advise you to withdraw such a statement to avoid several consequences. Simon has an insurrection act to deploy the military to crush and quench every aggression against Biafrans. A woman, Abibat Salisu, may have become permanently deformed in Lagos State after 64-year-old council revenue collector Tahiru Kadri poured hot water on the body over payment of 200 naira ticket. Report that the incident happened at Moshalashi Alaja in the Agege area of Lagos, where Kadri went to collect revenue money. He has been arrested and charged for causing permanent damage and assaulting the victim. According to the police, the victim came to our shop in the morning when Kadri came to her to collect council revenue money. The victim reportedly told him to come back as she had made no sales. Her response was said to have angered the suspect Kadri, and he poured hot water on her body. She was seriously injured and was rushed to an undisclosed hospital where she was confirmed to have suffered permanent deformity because of the injury. The matter was reported to the police at Isokoko Division, and the suspect Kadri was arrested and detained at the station for interrogation over his alleged conduct, and he admitted to have poured hot water on her out of anger. The police found him culpable and consequently charged him before the Ogba Magistrate Court for the alleged offense, which attracts several years of imprisonment. However, he pleaded not guilty. The prosecutor, Supol Akim Raji, then asked the court to give a date for hearing since he pleaded not guilty, to enable the police to prove that he actually committed the alleged offense. To the foreign story. Russia's Upper House of Parliament on Thursday set March 17, 2024 as the date for the next presidential election, in which long-term President Vladimir Putin is widely expected to run again. In a meeting televised live, the senators unanimously approved the date in a decision that practically kicks off the presidential campaign, according to the head of the chamber, Valentina Matvenko. Putin, who has been in power in Russia either as president or prime minister since 2000, has not officially announced if he will stand in the vote, but is widely expected to do so. The election will take place 2 years after Russia launched what it calls a special military operation in Ukraine in February 2022, and later annexed the Ukrainian regions of Lugansk, Donetsk, Kherson, and Zaporizhia. The election will be a sort of culmination of reunification for the regions, Matvenko said. On sports. Unless the senior national team of Nigeria makes it all the way to the final of next year's Africa Cup of Nations in Cote d'Ivoire, the Nigeria Football Federation have already set it for a new coach for the team. Head coach of the team, Yusuf Pesaro, will be given an extension if the team go all the way to the final, but if otherwise, then his contract won't be extended upon expiration after the tournament. Information can exclusively reveal that Emmanuel Amunike is the choice of the technical committee of the NFF, led by Sherif Rabiu Inoa, popularly known as Alan. Amunike comes highly recommended from someone that the NFF chief holds in high esteem. Already talks have been made over his possible appointment after the AFCON. This much was communicated to the Minister of Sport Development, Senator John Eno, when a delegation of former players of the senior national team of Nigeria paid him a courtesy visit a few weeks ago. He sold out that the idea of having an indigenous coach to handle the Super Eagles. The choice of Amunike is very easier because he isn't entirely new to the system, as he has twice served as an assistant to previous head coaches, the last of which was the ill-fated World Cup qualifiers playoff, where he was assistant to Augustine Egwavan when they lost the World Cup ticket to Ghana. With our sports story, we've come to the end of today's World News. Before we go, some headlines. Tinubu receives Benin Republic President in Aso Rock. Starting with Anambra, Tinubu approves blueprint for Southeast politics. FG raises exchange rate for cargo clearance to 951 naira to dollar. Presidency reacts as P&G leaves Nigeria after GSK's exits. Sanusi 6 NNPC audit says president shouldn't be petroleum minister. On sport, Amunike is indigenous coach picked as replacement to Yusuf Bissell. For update of our broadcast on YouTube, our handle is Bagide Imo Television. Can you subscribe and click on the notification bell selected from all to access all of our broadcasts? On Facebook, Bagide Imo with Alawi Adebayo. Please like and follow the page. Thank you for watching. I am Mowiri Rabila Lawa. Good evening.